we? Are we live?
Technically, yes.
Or are we like dead? We're live. Okay.
We're alive.
All right.
And live at the same time.
Interesting.
Paradox.
Yes. A little late this evening, but we had to get some stories together that will pique the interest of the public.
Yes, we wanted to have fresh stories. So that's why we're fashionably late. But we didn't have any technical difficulties.
Daisy Fresh.
Yes. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the FU Podcast. This is episode 212. It is July 9th, 2024. How's everybody doing? What's happening? How y'all been? What's new?
Anything new? Anything interesting going on?
Y'all still have all your fingers left from 4th of July? That's the main important question.
Oh, yeah. Is everybody...
It's been that long since we've been on.
Have you acquired all your digits this week? Did we have a podcast last week? I thought we did.
Did we? Yeah, we did.
We did one.
Was that before or after?
Because I'm pretty sure the children were here then too.
But was that before 4th of July?
Yeah, because it was Tuesday and 4th of July was a Thursday.
Yeah, so we didn't get to talk about 4th of July.
No, we did not.
So for those of you who came out to the Kaboom Town, it was phenomenal, and I appreciate everybody that came, and Andy also for contributing to the pizzas and everything, which I was really shocked and amazed how they got annihilated. I was expecting at least a couple slices to come home. But
that's why I was like, there's a pizza.
Yeah, like literally, he was like, there's a. Never mind.
Okay.
So the beer pong table that I had set up, didn't realize like the wind was going to be 40 miles an hour the entire time we were there. So we never got to play beer pong. Beer pong.
Oh yeah.
So the beer pong table ended up being a food table. Which is good. So for next year, I'll probably have a couple more tables. And obviously, I'll just 86 the whole beer pong thing because like it's too damn windy up there to try to have any type of beer pong going on, which sucks because I was looking forward to it, man. I was like, nothing says America like jets, fireworks, beer pong.
No, not at all. What did I do?
I don't know what you do.
I zoomed in the whole screen. How do I zoom out?
Command 0.
What is going on?
I have no idea.
I don't know what I did.
Oh Jesus, hold on. We do have technical difficulties.
Yeah, we actually do. So this is those of you who don't know, I'm not familiar with Macs. I don't know how this happened. You'll have to excuse me in my I don't get it. Sorry, y'all. Dead air. I zoomed in somehow that so badly that even Devin's not sure what I did. And Devin, that's all he uses is Max.
It said something about FN.
I effing don't understand this. Oh, I could close this and it saves, right? So let's close it and open it back up.
That is true. But like, what the fuck?
I'm so confused right now.
Some kind of...
I don't know. I did it with the mouse. Like I touched something and.
Oh, okay. I know what you did.
What did I do? The studios, the audience is laughing right now. Like, dude, get it together.
When you double tap, it zooms in.
Oh, okay, all right. So I double tapped, whatever.
That's all you gotta tell me. Like what'd you do? And then we'll just do the opposite of what you did.
I did something with the mouse. He automatically knew.
Is it plugged in? Is it turned on?
It is. All right. Anyway.
I love when fucking technical support.
Oh boy. So now that we are on
in Andy's defense, he's not used to working with a Mac, so
Nope. I'm a to be honest, I use PC and Windows most of the time and Microsoft and shit like that. So.
Poor thing.
Yeah, it's worked out so far. I guess it hasn't been terrible.
Right?
For what I need it for.
Well, let's go ahead and step into the weather because it's going to go back to miserable hot as fuck as usual. We did get a little break for a while with, the sub 100 degree weather.
We got, Sunday and Monday, and that was it?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yay
for 2 days. And
shit.
Yeah, I took the boat out on Sunday, and then by like 6:30, the fucking wind was so, like, atrocious that I was like, yep, nope, taking it back in.
Yeah. And,
like, literally, I was like, look out. Like, there is white caps every fucking where. I was like, yeah, it's time to come in. Like, I'm not even going to fucking deal with that.
It did definitely get a bit windy. I will agree with that. A lot of stuff got blown around the backyard.
Did it really?
Yeah. Barely got any rain though.
Yeah, like I was expecting with this hurricane and everything, and that's going to be one of our first stories. So we'll segue into that here in a second. Yeah, I thought with the hurricane and stuff coming, like that we were just going to be like just rain for like an entire week, and we got it like sprinkles for like a day.
I know.
I was like, what the fuck?
Kind of weird.
Like I didn't water, I didn't do anything because I thought we were going to get rain, and like now I got to fucking water.
My friends down south, getting their properties wrecked, flooded, and apparently there's this storm claimed 8 lives. And we're
how many of those lives were like actually like Texas, or were they like from the coast?
I know 2 of them were Texas.
Oh, were there?
I know for sure 2 of them were Texas. When it hit landfall, I don't know. I didn't read on to where the other 6 went or were from. So,
gotcha.
It could have been throughout Texas. It could have been the storm front that made it, up to the edge of Texas, and I don't know. I got to read the story.
All right, we'll get into it here in a minute. So Wednesday, basically the entire week till Thursday the 18th, it's going to be sunny. There's no rain in the forecast. Basically 95 most days until Tuesday. We start creeping up into the hundreds again, and Wednesday and Thursday are 99. So let's call it what it is. It's going to be 100.
And it's going to be humid.
Yeah, I mean, with all the storm front and everything else going on, it's definitely going to be humid. Oh, and by the way, on a side note, did you know they finally opened the fucking road? After
talking about
after enough of us bitch to complain.
Talking about Shady?
Yes.
Oh yeah, dude, it's been open for a hot minute now. I've been using it like crazy.
Oh, okay, well, thanks for fucking letting me know.
I thought I could have swore I told you.
No, I had to have my scouts go out there and fucking tell me.
I think I went to go get Lindsay ice cream after the podcast. I think last week.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure. Was it last week? I think it might have been before that. I don't know, but yeah, it's been open for a little bit now. The other side, I don't think is open though. I think that's still open. It's not near what it was, but
dude, that whole road just needs to be. I don't know who in their right mind fucking designed that shit, like, or what they were thinking. But like, if you notice those parts of the road that flood,
yeah,
they're well below the rest of the road.
Well,
like,
yeah,
what were you like? Why did you not at least keep the same grade? Like that to me, like doesn't make.
I feel like when
sense.
that road was originally made, I feel like there's, that where this area was a lot smaller. And I feel like there's never been like a true push. And a lot of that also has to do with the environment that's on the other side, that they really just don't care about that street because of what's on the other side of the street.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And when I was...
Because there's no kings over there. And I don't see any trees within there. So I don't know where they get the name from.
Or where they get estates, because I've driven through there and I've not seen a single estate.
No, last time I checked, I mean, unless you're going out to Colorado and you've got a trailer up in the mountains, I've never seen a trailer that's part of an estate.
Yes. Like even people that have estates don't have trailers.
I will say I watched this documentary a while back, and there are like Hollywood stars that are paying for like $500,000 to $1 million trailers up in the mountains, and they don't look like trailers though. They're not your average trailer. It's nuts. It's really crazy. So,
well, I mean, that's one thing if it doesn't look like a trailer, but if it looks and smells and is a trailer, then
falling apart like a trailer, it's probably a trailer.
Well, and that was my biggest
probably
thing.
A duck.
Is like I have no problems with like trailers and stuff, but like if you're landscaping and shit around it, or if the trailer's like half falling apart, and then you're gonna come in our subdivision and like criticize about trash cans and and like actual like movable trailers, not like residential trailers. Like I have a huge problem with that. Like you're gonna get on us, but then you do nothing about their properties where they got like 15 bikes hanging over a fucking chain link fence, and I'm just like. It's one of the main reasons why I drive the back way in, because I'm like, I don't even want to fucking deal with the potholes. I don't want to deal with the scenery. I'd rather go the back way, and at least like it's semi sort of presentable. Unlike that way.
Yeah, that way is not really.
And you know what? Okay, so like what they always say, like
Oh man.
you know how like they say like animals look like their owners, and then you know how like they say like a representation of you is your vehicle. Like the way you keep your vehicle, like if you keep it trashed and shit like that, then 9 times out of 10 your life is probably trashed. So just FYI, like y'all listening out there, us guys actually pay attention to your vehicle. Like if you have a ton of shit in there, that tells me you don't know how to manage
both my truck and my car. Well, no, my car doesn't have a ton of shit in there, but it's not vacuumed. That's for sure.
Well, it's not even about vacuuming, but like when you look like, okay, perfect example, because I do the auction stuff, right, where I buy cars and everything else. But like some of the cars I look at, and I'm like, nope, not bidding on that one. Like there's literally like Slurpee, Big Gulp, and like all these containers, and I'm just like going, how many fucking times did this car fill up? And how many times were they at a gas station with 700 fucking trash cans and they couldn't pick this shit up? And like that tells me, I'm like, if they can't take care of the inside of the car, that means they can't take care of the outside of the car. You know what I mean? Like the oil changes and all the tire rotation. Yeah, all that shit needs to be done.
Once I got my car hit, I quit taking care of the outside.
Yeah, no, I'm right there.
Well, actually, I don't even know. You know what? Fuck it. I don't even remember the last time I washed the car. I gave up a long time ago.
Well, that's kind of how I feel about the truck, but
yeah.
But I'm like, everybody always says, "Well, it's a truck."
If you looked in my truck, you'd be like, "God damn." But yeah,
no, your truck looks nice, man.
And the inside doesn't.
Well, the outside looked good.
All over the inside, like if I cleaned it out, it would look good. But yeah, there's all kinds of shit. There's old leather jacket, pieces of a speaker box that used to be in there.
You want to hear some like crazy shit? So I got that FedEx van, right?
Yeah.
So I was looking at like doing one of those pod storage things where they like drop a pod and you like put your stuff in it. Because the whole reason why I want to do that is I want to clean out the garage. Like I want to get all the stuff out. I want to organize. I have cabinets and stuff that are literally sitting in the center of the fucking garage because I can't, nail and screw them up to the walls because there's too much shit in the way. So I was like, well, I have a solution to this. I now have a FedEx truck. I can throw all this shit into the fucking van, and then I can organize and clean, and then not have to worry about shit getting stolen and everything else because I got cameras everywhere. And so I was like, and I don't have to worry about it getting weathered, rained on, and everything else. If I pull the stuff out, I can just throw it in the van, and I don't have to worry about storage space or anything like that. And that way I can organize, do everything, and then eventually move all that stuff back or sell a lot of it because that's where I'm at right now. Yeah. So those of you who don't know,
hit it on the nose.
I now have 6 cars. And so like right now I'm looking to basically get rid of all of them except for maybe 3.
If you need a car, hit Devin up.
Yeah, right. Like I got your car, whatever you need. I'm not stingy on the brand names. I got Acura,
Gas Saver,
I got
sedan,
Ford, I got Toyota,
storage. He's got you.
I got you. I got all the vehicles. So yeah, like I'm looking to get rid of stuff because I'm just tired of the cluster that's everywhere. Speaking of clusters, there was a tropical storm Beryl that barreled through fucking the Caribbean and also Texas. But it also made history.
I see what you did there.
As one of the earliest named storms of the season, raising concerns among forecasters about the potential for an active and intense hurricane season. The early formation of such storms can indicate more frequent and possibly severe weather events in the coming months. Yep. And they were already predicting, dude. I don't know if you heard or saw, but they were already predicting like this year is going to be probably the worst. Like on average, I think it was like 3 to 4 named storms or something like that. And they were like, yeah, it's going to be like double, triple that. And here we are, the first storm.
That's crazy to me, dude. Like, it is early in the season. It is really early in the season. At least definitely for us, it's early in the season. I would have to agree.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on like the increasing frequency of the early season storms and like in addition, like
global warming's a myth? Oh, sorry. Dude, what? My bad.
Well, it's funny you say that because like I was thinking back whenever I was like 15. I worked the guy across the street from me. He had a carpet cleaning company, and so I used to work carpet cleaning. And I remember that it was like I think it was like 100 days of over 100 degrees. So like
Really?
to me, like this is nothing compared to the shit that I dealt with. And mind you, a lot of the places that I worked in were apartments, and a lot of the apartments that we went into didn't have electricity, or like, you know, because it was vacant, they didn't have power. So we'd walk in there and it's 100 degrees outside. It's like 115 inside. And then we're using 220 degree steam to clean the fucking carpet.
So it makes for an awesome job.
Yeah, it made, and like that's when I realized and understood the value of a dollar. Like that was like when you put your sweat equity, like literally.
That's ball sweat equity. Okay, doing that, you're swamp crotch like a mug.
Oh, and the worst part was our uniforms were like this navy blue, and I don't know if you've ever been out in the heat and worn navy blue.
Dark blue.
Yeah, you get the nice
salty
salt lines everywhere from your sweat in your ass.
Ask your postal workers.
Right?
Yeah, for real.
So that was one of the things I had to deal with is like, hey, we got these nice uniforms, but yeah, they're fucking salt lines everywhere. I was like, can we have a white shirt? But I was like, no, you can't have white because, yeah, a lot of the carpets and stuff we did, like we stained, like, so perfect example, like if it's a light gray, and there's like stains throughout the carpet, we would stain it like a charcoal. So we go a darker gray to hide and mask those stains.
Interesting.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's a lot cheaper than trying to cut it and, you know, replace it. And oh, by the way,
no, that's fair.
When you cut carpet, if you're not smart and you try to so let me back up a little bit. A lot of times people will cut carpet in their closet and replace it and patch it with
hell yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is if you don't line, so the pile will go a certain direction, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times you walk into a place, you can tell it's been patched because the pile goes a different direction. They weren't smart enough.
Pile of shit.
Because it's a pile of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the secrets of the trade is we used to like literally cut a square in the closet and swap the two out.
Just walk in. Fuck, I got.
I mean, that was only like worst case scenario, but like most of the time we would dye it a darker color so that it would hide the stains, especially like red stains and stuff like that won't come out.
So you dye the entire carpet?
The entire carpet, man. So, and the shitty thing was
fucking apartments. On to you. I'm never being one again, but I'm on to you now. Shit.
Yeah, that's how they get away with it. And that's how they charge you and all this other shit for.
Because according to proper tenancy or landlord-ish stuff, there's every 3 years the carpets are supposed to be replaced. And I can guarantee you every 3 years the carpets do not get replaced.
I will tell you from experience, unequivocally, that they do not get replaced.
Nope.
They get thoroughly cleaned, don't get me wrong.
I look at them, I'm like, there's no way this much wear came in fucking 3 years. This is definitely a 6-year carpet. This is a 7-8 year, man.
And that's the other thing, too. So, like, a lot of companies will use those portable vacuum cleaners. But the problem with those is they don't work near as well as, like, a truck mount, actual gas-powered. Yeah. When you run the lines from the truck to the carpet, those ones work the best. And those ones actually...
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of these companies use, like, the rug doctor, dude. Yeah. That's how they... Yeah, and a lot of apartment complexes will buy those rug doctors and clean it themselves.
And pay their maintenance guys to do it.
Yes, exactly, to save on the costs. And it's like...
There's a difference between warm water and a shampooer than a truck-mounted fucking steam cleaner at 220 fucking 220 degrees Fahrenheit. Fucking stick your hand under that shit, you're gonna fucking walk away with a 3rd degree burn. Yeah, there's a big difference between those. Steam lifts, especially with cleaning chemicals, lift a lot that people just sometimes don't understand.
And the worst thing is like a lot of the apartments, they had cats, and so what would happen?
Steam cleaners don't even.
Here's another like secret to you people that think y'all are getting away with smuggling or having a cat in your apartment without paying the pet deposit and all that stuff.
Yep.
Well, as soon as steam hits cat piss,
that
ammonia
it's
releases, and it's like it's literally almost eye
Yeah.
closing. It's how
When
bad
you-
it is.
Especially if you have an animal that has the cat that has an accident on the carpet, it stays in the Jude. Like you have to replace that whole section of carpet and take it out, and even then the steam can hit the wood where it's soaked in, because cat pee is so nasty it'll actually make some woods bubble.
Yeah,
It's so toxic, right?
yeah,
And so you could still replace carpet and get it steam cleaned and then reactivate that odor coming out of the wood underneath the Jude. But yeah, cat piss is some whoo.
Yeah, that's
Shit,
one of the main reasons why I'm like not deathly allergic, but I'm like I just had an allergy test done recently, so like I actually because I had done it like 10, 15 years ago. But I had it done again, and they were like, yeah, you really need to be on an allergy shot. I was like, good, because it's fucking Claritin shit. Like, I'm stuffed up right now. You can tell.
It happens.
I'm like, this Zyrtec and shit is just not working.
I've
been taking it for like 20 years. Like, it's just not doing what it used to do.
I can't go without no spray, because like what you're like right now, dude. Like,
I can't breathe.
It starts a panic attack for me. Like eating becomes an Olympic sport, because you're like, you gotta chew it right.
That's when you know you're
gotta
old.
take a breath before, and then you're like,
oh, the worst is when you take a breath during, and then you end up like inhaling like fucking jalapeno. You know me, I like spicy shit.
Because you have to breathe with your mouth at that point,
Yep.
right? You can't breathe through because your sinuses are so swollen shut, and next thing you know, you're like trying not to chew with your mouth open, but you can't fucking breathe.
Yeah.
And then it's like, god damn, it sends me into like I can't sleep if I don't have a nose spray or something to stop it.
So I had that I did that sinusitis study where they put those like tubes in my nose and everything else. Tubes. And just so like the audience knows, they look like little miniature Chinese finger cuff type things. You know, like
that's awesome.
But they release antihistamine throughout the day.
They put toys in his nose.
They put Chinese finger cuffs in my nose, so if I pick my nose, my finger
They're
gets
like,
stuck.
try and get it out now.
But no, like I didn't realize like how well it worked until like I just recently had them removed, and now I'm like, I can't fucking breathe. Well, they release antihistamine. So it's not only does it open your nasal passage, but it also
the antihistamine end up going away eventually.
No, it's time release. So like it releases it. So instead of taking a allergy pill every single day or nose spray, which is like really bad for you, habit forming and yada yada yada. Andy, yeah. So this was like an alternative
or something. Anyways,
so I did the study. I'm actually tomorrow will be my official last day of the study, which I'm like, this kind of sucks because I really want the device after having it.
I want it back, damn it.
I'm like, I want it back. It actually worked. Now that I realize, like, shit, I'm miserable without this fucking thing.
Damn, son. All right. Well, with that being said, you want to...
So, yeah, given the hurricane, I don't know if you've heard this or not, Texans are using the Whataburger app to track the power outages during the extreme weather conditions.
Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy to me.
So, yeah, just so the audience doesn't know, maybe you're not from Texas or whatever, but, like, they're legit using the Whataburger app to figure out where the power outages are. And it like, is actually legit, like, correct. The app's popularity stems from its reliability and ease of use, offering real-time updates and notifications about power outages and restorations. And you know what's sad? Encore and the power outages and everything we fucking have, they can't figure this shit out, but Whataburger, who is not a fucking power company, can figure this out. Like
we're out.
What is wrong?
They aren't open.
What is fucking wrong with this world? Like with Texas, not even this world. It's Texas.
It's Texas, then, and we will prevail. So with Whataburger.
So what are your thoughts of like using non-traditional apps for emergency information? And like the fact that somebody figured this out, like it's brilliant.
Can you check in at Whataburger? Like check in and say Mark's safe?
Like Mark's safe. I'm at Whataburger. We're good, y'all.
Next thing you know, they're gonna have those safety zones like QT does, or the safe zone or whatever. You can meet here or call here or something. We'll make sure you don't get hurt.
So, like, honestly, like, what does the audience think? What do y'all think? Like, do you think, like, obviously Whataburgers figured it out without realizing that they came up with a solution? Like, what do you think the solution should be? Like, what do you think Encore or whoever?
They should release an app.
They have an app. That's fucking
and it
up
doesn't
part.
show, and it doesn't show outages.
I mean, it does, but apparently, I guess some people were saying like that the app or something was like doing some kind of maintenance or like wasn't working correctly.
Mhm.
But never fail, Whataburger app works. I feel like if you're gonna have an app that's unstable and doesn't work or whatever, then have a backup. Like have a mirror of that app. There's another app called Down Detector, which I use a lot to figure out like when outages occur, whether it be internet, whether it be Netflix, whether it be whatever. Like anytime, like I'm telling you guys as the audience, go look at Down Detector. If you're ever experiencing, even like with Facebook, like let's say there's a Facebook outage or AT&T outage, there was a couple of those. Use the Down Detector. It'll show you on the grid, and you can also claim that you have an outage. So that helps with their whole data collection of, here's all the different areas that are claiming they have an outage.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy, dude. I don't know, man. The fact that we're using Whataburger to,
I know, like I could like
the wave of the future.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Pardon me for just a second. I need to go check on something real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, go handle business. All right, so Gateway Church is in the news again. It has recently settled, or actually, it has settled 2 lawsuits in 2024. One of which involved allegations of child abuse. The settlements have brought attention to the church's handling of such serious accusations and their broader implications of the community. Given the sensitivity and complexity of these issues, like, what are your thoughts? And like, this is not the first time. Like, I think we reported earlier a few podcasts ago about like they were in the news for one of the pastors and stuff stepping down, but apparently I guess there's even more, and apparently there's allegations that they tried to hide it, conceal it. So what are your thoughts on like how organizations should address these allegations? Like, I don't think these people should be handling stuff internally. Because like this goes back to a post that I was gonna post today, but I didn't get a chance to do it. But like, if you ever notice like all these companies and all these industries and stuff that have no regulation, like they try to get away with as much as possible, and when they get caught, they try to sweep shit under the rug because there's no accountability. And I think that's one of the biggest things that's missing from the government all the way to these businesses and all the way now to churches. Is accountability. Like, when you have no accountability, like, they're still functioning. The church is still operating. Like, it's same thing with Boeing. Talking about accountability. Boeing is still operating. They, like, if you or I killed 200 fucking people, right? We'd be in jail.
I don't think we'd be operating.
Yeah, we wouldn't be operating. This shit would be shut down. Like, we would be fucking behind bars.
Frustration Unlimited would be no more.
Yeah, like, but then you have Boeing that somehow continues to operate after killing over 200 fucking people.
Is this a Catholic church?
Gateway Church? I do not believe so. Okay. This is the one in South Lake. It's a really big mega church.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's ginormous.
Why is it?
And I know about 20 or 30 people that have been going to this church for a long time.
Again, this stuff, like, it's sick to do in the first place, but like the fact that the day and age we live in and this public place that this is, you think you're actually not going to get caught? You really think that's going to happen? Oh, this kid's not going to tell, or that kid's not going to tell, or the kid's not. Like, really, are you that stupid? Number one, you're that sick. I get it. but are you that stupid to think that you'd be able to go on with?
Well, and this is what you missed of when I was talking about accountability, and it's like when you don't have the checks and balances system, which is what our whole entire government was supposed to be founded upon. That's when stuff like this happens because they self-investigate. This is the same thing, same problem with police.
Yeah, and
when you self-investigate, and with Boeing, that's why I use Boeing as an example. The only people that are investigating Boeing's issues is Boeing.
Yeah, I get it.
And I'm like, you think they're gonna find and like, oh, we fucked up? No, they're not gonna say that. Why? Because they have investors. So I wasn't gonna talk about this until the very end once I got into the business segment, but this is one of the key reasons why everybody's talking about politics. You know, you're talking about the left and the right and the fucking Democrats and the Bloodlickens and all that shit, but at the end of the day, it's irrelevant because we can actually change, and we're not going to change anything by voting, period. You heard that here first. You are never going to make a fucking single change in this fucking world by voting. Whoever told you that, they're full of shit. The only way you can elicit change is where you hit them where it hurts. And where is that? Money. And how do you do that? There's a thing called options trading in stock where you can actually, what's called a short. You can short companies. I did that yesterday to Adobe, and I'll explain later why I shorted Adobe. And because I shorted it and their stock has continued to fall, I'm actually making quite a significant amount of money. But yeah, this is the whole. We live in a time where like stuff in the past, like our parents and their parents did, doesn't work. Voting and all that shit doesn't work. The only way to significantly influence anybody or anything is hit them where it hurts, which is financial.
Right in the balls.
Right in the balls.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, you know what? We haven't said balls enough times on the podcast.
Same thought, man. Right to my brain. Donna said today there was an article accusing the 12-year-old as having initiated it. You know, I understand.
Victim blaming? Like that's totally a narcissistic type shit.
But look, so I understand that side of it. I get it. Okay? Because there was that, you know, the other stuff we found out about a certain person that came on one of our shows afterwards, right?
Right.
So I understand saying that, but that doesn't, like, if a 12-year-old.
Well, no, what she's saying is the 12-year-old came out and the church is basically accusing that 12-year-old for coming out. Like, but what?
And even if that was the case, even if that were true, and the 12-year-old tried to actually initiate it, and, you know, maybe it's a troubled teen or something, or troubled preteen, right? Even if that were true, you as an adult, a normal thinking adult, have a responsibility to immediately. And I know you take a risk because who's not going to believe their child, but you have an immediate responsibility to say, okay, you need to stop this. We need to go have a talk with your parents right now, this and that. And of course, they'll deny it, right? The kid will, but you still have that responsibility. Even if that 12-year-old initiated it, I don't give a fuck if they initiated it.
You're absolutely
why you
right.
Stand behind that.
It doesn't matter who initiated it. Is if you follow through. At the end of the day, if you follow through, it doesn't matter. Like if I have girls, whatever, hitting on me, whatever, if I follow through, then I'm as equally to blame as they are. Like they may initiate it, that's fine, but it's me as an adult and as, you know, responsible. And like this goes for teachers too, because not only are so there's a law actually that's on the books that says if you're at a stature of higher power, like teachers, and this would be also for priests and also for clergy.
James Franco. I'm sorry. I don't know if you've heard that one.
No, I haven't heard of.
Yeah, there's a reason we don't see him anymore.
Why? What happened?
He was sleeping with his students at his acting school.
Are you fucking?
Yeah, like He was
what? I'm like, this is like newsflash. Like I was wondering, like,
you notice Seth Rogen and him don't do anything together anymore. And Seth,
you know, his last film was here in Dallas, right? They shot that, and in fact, I was actually gonna be on set for that.
Yeah,
but my work schedule like Yeah.
Seth Rogen completely cut him off when the allegations started. Because it got more and more, and he ended up, before the trial and all this stuff was over, he reached settlements with everybody and admitted that he used his position in a wrong manner or something like that, or something. Yeah, but yeah, I'm very familiar with this.
I almost feel like for every company, there needs to be an audit company that audits not only like their numbers, but also audits like
their
perfect example.
Their patrons.
Yeah, their patrons, and like not only that, but like so that almost kind of like how the unions work, right?
I get it.
Yeah, so like you have a voice, you have somebody on your side. Because here's the thing: when people fuck up, and I've had this happen, I deal with mostly CEOs and stuff, and I've literally had to tell CEOs off, and it's like, I know I'm more brave than most people because most people fear they're losing their jobs and shit like that, but like I'm secure in what I do and everything else, that I'm not really worried about it. Because at the end of the day, if I allow them to push me, then they're going to keep pushing me, and they're going to keep until I fold. And like, that's just like, I'm just going to cut it off right from the get-go so that there is no folding, and there's no precedent like, well, I got away with this, what else can I get away with, But that's the thing. Yep. It's like, that's the difference between a good leader and like these bucks and a boss.
And a big old sack of shit. That's what boss stands for. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, if you ever if anybody ever calls you a boss, that's what they're saying. Like, you big old sack of shit.
Damn. Now when people call me, hey, what's up, boss? Now I'm like, fuck.
Man, just call me homie or something. Like whenever I call my employees and they're like, hey, boss, what's going on? I'm like, no.
All right, now you got me like rethinking the whole fucking boss analogy.
Yep. Trust me, I know. When I learned it too, I was like, what the fuck?
Ooh, shit. Lindsay says, that is close to home. My ex-brother-in-law was sleeping with his underage students at his...
Oh, yeah.
Oh. So, that's like...
a whole different... Yeah.
Well, this is what I was saying. Like, this kind of lumped in a bunch of different things that are happening right now, like with the Boeing thing and everything else. Like, when there's no accountability and there's no checks and balances, I hate to say it, but like, that's where all this corruption is stemming from, because there's nobody overseeing and there's nobody checking this shit and balancing it and like,
well, let's be honest,
rid of those.
That's why there's thousands upon thousands of cases with the Catholic Church, dude, that have just kind of been swept under the rug because they are checking themselves, because they hide under the power of religion. Speaking of, or the shade of religion, that is.
So I didn't get to pull the story on it. It just came to mind when we were talking about this. In Princeton, they busted some human trafficking organization that they were saying like it's not a couple people. They've found the legs, and they're saying it's hundreds with an S of, and I'm like going,
surprise.
So I know Texas, and a lot of people that if you're not from Texas, you don't know, but like Texas is one of the highest human trafficked states in the entire United
Even with
States.
All the conservatives that live here, we still
even with Nick Wheely as governor, and he's trying to deport people and this, that, and the other. It doesn't matter because he's not fixing fucking problems, and that's why I hate that guy.
It ain't just him. There's a lot of people that aren't fixing it. But
so I will say, Ken Paxton, he was, indicted. Like he won the charges, but he was originally indicted for a slew of things.
Yep.
Well, I actually met with him whenever I was working to fight human trafficking, stuff like that, and I met with him and his office. And he was actually willing and wanting to put posters up inside of hospitals, hotels, and like large sporting events. Like the Texas Motor Speedway was one, because you have like hundreds of thousands of people there. He wanted to put posters and stuff like that inside like the restrooms and shit like that. So basically, like, make people aware to like what to look for, because a lot of people like you and I, we don't know what to exactly look for. Like, we don't know, like, we see some old guy with some young girl, like we just assume, oh, it's probably his daughter.
Our granddaughter,
whatever. But like, there could be more to it. But we don't know what to look for, and so that's what he was wanting. So and this was really brilliant. I will give politicians. I hate politicians. I hate dealing with them. Let me just put that out there first.
Hey, Molly.
I will give him the benefit of the doubt. He wanted to hire people from different sectors. So I was coming from the telecom because I was working for AT&T.
Mhm.
So I was representing telecom and that industry. He had people from the hospital agencies. I think Parkland was one a big one. But he had different people from all like that represented all like the entertainment venues, the hospitals, the this, that, and the other. And so like we all like basically were coming together and putting together all of the things that we need to look that needs to be standardized of what to look for, what to say, and all that sort of stuff. I know a lot of people might have know about the angel shot, like whenever you're at a bar. But that's so common now that like when you order it, it's no longer discreet. It's no longer like you're hiding what your true what your true motives are.
Ooh, your mode of operations. Your
Yep.
MO.
What's up, Molly? How's my favorite daughter doing?
Hey, niece. Do you wanna jump to the Velvet Taco, or do you wanna? What do you want to do, man? Because I got a couple of these stories have to be told tonight in the entertainment one.
We can skip the Velvet Taco. We could. I want to talk about the Michael Irvin thing because I fucking hate that.
I'm assuming, I'm pretty sure I know. I'm pretty sure I know where he's opening it up at. I'm sure.
Do you really?
Yeah, I bet you it's over there where all the other shit is.
Over to buy her taco?
I don't
or
think
where?
no Grandscape.
No. Oh yeah.
I don't think there's no way he's opening it up in Deep Colony. There's no way.
No.
It's not high end enough for him.
Yeah, the Grandscape. You're right. Damn, I should have bought that fucking space. Ugh. There was an amazing space that I wanted to buy for the studio. But then driving out there, yeah, that would fucking suck. But it was really cool, and it was all glass, so like we could actually do a live spot and like have audience and people and shit.
Where at
Grandscape?
Shit, that'd just be. I don't know. I feel like there'd be a handful.
Right.
I like being able to walk down the street too. Just
yeah, it is kind of
nice. He's like, I'd walk up the stairs, but okay. Let's see here. So what are your thoughts as far as this? As far as the Michael Irvin bar because you don't like that guy apparently. Are you not a fan of Michael Irvin?
I am not. So like, this is the reason why I pulled the story. So back in the day, whenever I worked at Fox and the Hound, right off of Rosemead, Michael Irvin came in and he started taking his pool cue and started changing the fucking channels on the TVs. And like we're like, hey, whoa, wait, like
This was the one at Rosemead, right?
yeah.
You know he lived right over there for a long time.
Yeah.
He lived right there off Marsh.
And he was the biggest douche back when he lived over there.
He had a big sign that said "No solicitors, no autograph seekers," and something else on his property or his house.
So when I pulled this story, I was like, I'm gonna go to his fucking bar. I'm gonna take a pool cue and I'm gonna start changing all of his fucking TVs. And they'd be like, "You remember fucking Fox and the Hound, bitch?"
Too bad we didn't have camera phones back then.
Oh, dude, I know.
I'd be like, "You remember this?
Yeah, you remember this, bitch?"
Hold it up while you're doing it. Hold it up while you're doing it. That's funny. That's good stuff.
So like, not only like was he like being a dick about it, but like, you know, the pool cue chalk, it was getting all over the fucking TVs.
That's
because he wasn't hitting the fucking buttons. He's like,
how many have you had tonight, sir?
Right? I was just like,
Sir, that's not a remote control. Put the shit down. Mr. Irving, there are no hookers here. Sorry. Oh, damn. Isn't he the one that got caught in the room with the two hookers and the cocaine or some shit? Or maybe it wasn't hookers. Maybe it was just people he was hanging out, girls he had around. I don't know.
I have no idea.
But yes, that was a big controversy. He got busted in some hotel room with coke and like women or some shit. I don't know if they were hookers or not.
All right, so what the hell is going on with Lindsay and Molly? I'm so lost.
I don't know. I'm just monkeys and stuff and circus.
Like you need to have a come to Jesus with your second dad. Oh, I got you. Okay. I'm first dad. I got you. I see what you did there.
Okay. So
wait, felonies and property damage. Wait, is there some shit I don't know about?
Yeah, I don't.
And then the roller derby monkeys and snakes. Like what the fuck?
I don't know. So
I am so confused.
I am too. So
and even Molly's like, what?
Biden is. Do you want to go where you want to stay on? Do you want to stay in? Because I want to get these stories before we have.
All right, hold on.
Because one of them's fucking hilarious. Like, it's definitely a TMZ worthy story. That's why it's on TMZ.
All right, well, go ahead and your TMZ.
Well, do you want to do the Biden stuff first?
Yeah, we can get into that.
Go down to national news.
Yeah. Biden is seeing a different world than other Democrats. I don't know if any of y'all watched the fucking god awful.
What was it?
It was god awful, man.
Okay.
It was.
I don't know if I called it a debate.
It wasn't even a debate. It was like, whose dick is bigger? It was a pissing contest for old fucking people.
Telling you, dude.
And that's why I couldn't tune in.
That is the most mature I've ever seen Donald Trump be.
It was.
Because he knew his crew told him flat out, don't be yourself. This will take care of itself. Like, that's exactly. You can see it in his face. Like, his face would turn red because he wants to say something playgroundish, right? Like, I'm going to kick dirt on you. But he wouldn't do it. He just sat there. And then let Biden take over. And I'm not going to lie, dude. That's probably one of the most reserved debates I've seen Trump be a part of. Because Trump's usually belittling somebody's wife or talking about some personal shit, and the only thing they really got into it about was this bet they're fucking playing each other on the golf course.
Which I'm like, the whole world is falling apart, and you're fucking pissing on you're like literally talking about golf.
Well,
I want to shove golf clubs at both their asses.
The amount of lies that came out of both their mouths, but the thing is Biden didn't just. The problem with Biden's lies is he couldn't get it out. He's like,
well, I mean, if you could understand what he was trying to articulate, it was either 3 lies versus 32, according to the data counters and all that shit.
And that's fair, but the lies that he's told over, and the thing is that at this point, I can't tell if Biden's just can't mentally comprehend or if he's really lying.
Well, that goes into the next story after this one.
Yes, let's jump into.
Hold on 1 second. So President Biden's perspective on global affairs appears to be diverging from what other Democrats are saying. This difference in worldwide worldview highlights inter-party tensions and varying approaches to international issues, which could affect policy decisions and the party's unity. There's already a bunch of Democrats that have come out that are like he needs to step aside. And honestly, I literally had this conversation the other day, and I hate politics. So I'm sorry for those of you who listen to steer away from politics. But this was such a catastrophic event that happened when they did their speech and stuff. And I'm not just talking one side. I'm talking both sides. Because, to me, I'm like, it's the difference between choosing meth and choosing heroin. Do you want one that's going to speed you up, Donald Trump? Or do you want one that's going to slow you down and not know anything? But I mean, they're both fucking bad. Can we get it to our fucking ears?
Opioids are fun.
Jesus Christ.
Just that's the
throw something at him.
No, yeah.
This is when I need something to throw. You're choosing two bad things. Neither one of these are good. Get it through your fucking head. And you don't have to make a choice of this or that when both this and that are shit.
Well, there's this problem. There's too many people believing that is still the way, unfortunately. They've solidified his base. You say what you want, you're right, but everything that the Democrats do that they don't nail Trump on, and I don't mean nail, I mean no retrials, no appeals, no everything that they continue to throw at him and they can't make stick makes them look bad. It's like it's proving him right about Biden weaponizing these type of things to go after his political opponent. That's the problem. And until they can actually get a conviction and get it done and get it to stick and not give him a chance to appeal, and this is what it is, and this isn't going to get tied up on the courts for the next 10 years, they're not going to stop to the Trump train. It sucks, dude.
Well, and here's the worst part. The IRS hasn't even gone after him yet. And with you already set, and like most people don't realize this, but like if you understand law and understand how precedents and stuff work, when you have a case that was set a precedent that you lied and you cheated and and it was convicted, now you open the fucking floodgates to the IRS saying, oh, really? So you claimed you only made $750.
But the IRS has to go do it. That's the problem.
Well, and the thing is with the IRS, and this is what I tried to explain to a lot of people, they don't fucking move tomorrow.
Exactly.
They move like
and
a year and a half.
They move at that speed.
Yes.
They allow the Trump fan base to solidify more and more the longer they take to truly go after him.
And that's the problem, and that's what I've been saying, like with all of this shit going on. It's like they didn't go after him immediately. They had to build the case. They had to make sure they had rock solid evidence. And like, granted, yes, we want to make sure the case is rock solid.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just fucking willy-nilly and just say, I'm going to go after you because you did this, that, and the other. No, you got to build the case. You got to have evidence. It can't be circumstantial. It's got to be actual concrete fucking evidence that you can be indicted and, proven guilty, for committing. And so that's why the IRS and shit like that, it's not going to happen anytime soon. But
I honestly, from the Biden side, like
when it does happen, though, he will be shut down. He will lose all assets.
But they got to do it. They got to do it. It has to be done before the election, dude. It has to.
Well, it doesn't have to. No, it's not the way the IRS doesn't give a fuck about the goddamn election.
But he's not. He's still going to make presidency. That's
I
what
understand
I'm saying.
that. But then we'll have a felon president that got
it's America, bro.
That got all of his shit liquidated by the fucking
This
IRS.
is America.
This is America.
This
is what I'm saying.
Childish Gambino did a song about
You don't have to make the choice of to Lindsay's point, like not trying to choose the
You're
lesser.
shitting on this country no matter what.
Yes. You're choosing the lesser of two evils. That's not a way to run. Like, it's like buying a car and you have two choices. Like, you got a fucking Pinto over here.
And let's be honest, even if Biden is committing crimes like Ukraine, but even if he is, he's not mentally competent to realize that he is. Like,
he probably just signed that.
Yeah, that's cool. You
want my autograph? Okay.
I don't know whose cocaine was in the White House. Like, it's Hunter's, okay? It was fucking Hunter's. Anyway.
Oh, I thought it was baby powder for my Depends.
He probably, that's true. You know what? Did they analyze it? It's not, and it can't be baby powder because that causes cancer, right? It's got carcinogens. Yeah. We don't want to give Joe any more fucking any more step downs. It's getting to the point where anybody who's letting him run is really ridiculous. Like somebody came out of the woodwork.
It reminds me of what Lindsay said. It's not a presidential bait. It was a 5th grade diss battle. It reminds me of, what was that show?
Yo Mama?
No.
That was a pretty funny show.
I didn't even know there was a show called Yo Mama.
Fez from that 70s show. Wilbur, whatever his name is.
We won't mention his name because he's also been in trouble for minors.
He did a
lot of things. That's why he's in trouble. That's why you haven't heard.
Show where they dissed each other and it'd be Yo Mama, and it's like, there was some pretty solid mama jokes.
What was the one that dated Mariah Carey? Has 6 baby mamas.
Nick Cannon, Wildin' Out.
Didn't he do a diss show where like they talk shit to each other?
That's Wildin' Out.
Wildin' Out, okay.
Does it, but that's become insanely successful.
Is it really?
Oh my god! I don't know
successful. I can't even remember the fucking name.
I don't know how many seasons there are of it, dude. But that's where that Matt Rife got his start.
Oh, did it really?
Like, he was doing stand up and he was doing guest appearances and shit. But like, apparently, I missed like 4 or 5 seasons where he was part of it. Cat Williams, that was a big part of Cat Williams getting. He was doing Wildin' Out right when Pimp Chronicles came out. He'd always be on there with that gigantic fucking belt buckle, acting all fucking crazy. But you know what I was saying is like for them to let him continue down this path is like it's fucking crazy to me. Like even somebody like his staunch supporters at first are totally like saying, "Hey, it's time to cut the cord. Y'all need to stop doing this shit." Michael Moore, known for was a Hollywood director. I don't know what he does anymore, but he's known for being like outwardly vocal Chelsea Handler liberal. Okay.
Hey, Lindsay, since you're here in the audience, can you look up Michael Moore, Bill Clinton, if he did a movie? Because I think I was in one of his movies. It's bad when I have to have you look up.
It's about somehow this is about Devin.
Well,
somehow.
Well, no, because the reason why I'm bringing that up because
movie
it was a president he did a movie about, and he's also doing or talking about. And I'm giving the segue of like he's already done historically done movies about.
Oh yeah, he's been politically charged.
And I'm trying to remember. I was like, was that a Michael Moore movie or was it somebody else? Because I'm not sure. I can't remember. I got like called in. They're like, put on this jacket. They gave me the security guard's jacket. Like I was on set of Queen of the South. They called me in to come in and be a stand-in for fucking Bill Clinton. Like, yeah. And here's the best part. It was the limo scene where he had two prostitutes on either side.
Oh, I thought it was like the desk. Like,
no, it was even better.
Not right now, Hillary.
It was two girls instead of one.
God.
No, and it was great. Like I literally sat in the limo, and the one girl's like going down, and the other,
awesome,
and great. It was all on camera.
Yeah, never hiding that one again.
I think that might have been it.
So, Michael Moore has actually come out on this too as well. He's got his a heated opinion on this. That's like it's the way they're parading him around.
You know, it almost reminds me of Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah,
like it literally
parading around. It's hot garbage, bro. So Michael Moore is going off on President Joe Biden's campaign team, accusing them of being downright evil for keeping him in this race, and that's the truth. On his Rumble podcast, which I will never listen to, the film director vented, if I have to be the only one to stand up for Joe Biden here to protect him from the cruelest form of elder abuse. That's the best part. He's so incompetent. We're now elderly abusing him. So he said, a form of elder abuse I've ever been forced to watch when that literally is what I'll do. So that's why he's standing up to say, hey, this is enough. Y'all need to cut this out because what you're doing to him literally is. I watched the Lindsay turned on the interview for me the other night where Biden had a 22-minute interview with, I can't remember the news anchor. And Biden's like, I had an off night. Like he literally took full responsibility saying this is all my fault. And so like just re-solidifying the opinion of America saying, yeah, this guy's fucking stupid as shit. Michael said he was gobsmacked by Biden's debate performance against Trump, saying he looked like he was in epic distress with every cognitive default seemingly shutting down, which is very true. He looks like he's in tornadoes and debris flying past his face, and he doesn't have any clue that it's happening. He's questioning if his team truly cared and loved him, because his wife put him up there too. She was all about it. Would they have really let him go out there on stage like that if they truly had his back? Like the fact that his wife is letting him do this, man, it's just fucking stupid.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that people are like telling him to continue on, like honestly,
you'll like this.
What?
Who in their right mind would send an 81-year-old out onto any stage to debate a living monster? At 9:00 at night for a brawl that would not end until 10:42 p.m. And you're absolutely right. When you're in those sunset years of your life, I'm speaking from personal experience. 10:00 comes around, I'm like, I'm going to sleep.
Shit, last night I was asleep by like 8:30.
Yeah. So
Friday night, no bullshit. I went to bed before the fucking sun went down. Like that's like unheard of for me. But then again, I've been like fighting this like nasty bullshit.
Well, like it says 11 months ago, Biden was struggling so bad they did everything they could to prevent him from speaking in public after 8 p.m. And let alone they let him out and do this tonight. I'm pretty sure the interview we watched, the one-on-one interview, I'm pretty sure this was midday. He has probably had his Wheaties and his oatmeal, so he's probably ready to go. And they also spray tanned him too, because he looked tanner than he did on the debate stage. That was the funny part. Like, oh, they're trying to prop him up for us. It is Weekend at Bernie's. Fuck yeah. It's bad, dude. But for Michael Moore to come out and say that, because I hate that dude. He's just a loudmouth fucking nobody, lazy ass fucking whiner and complainer. And for him to say that means like, yeah, Biden really, they need to consider him maybe moving on down the road. Meanwhile, you've got videos going viral of RFK coming out of his wife coming in and they're saying there's a rattlesnake in the driveway. Dude comes out with a net, catches that bitch, picks it up by hands, talks about the type of rattlesnake it is, throws it in a bucket and everything, and goes on about his fucking day.
So like, I hate to say it, like that was like my I'm driving to work today and I'm like going, why don't they just make RFK be part of the, like, to take his place? Like,
because Joe's not willing to step down. It's to the point where
I would much rather have RFK, just because I know like the battle he's up against, and I know that he's actually gonna do.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing:
he's not a bought Democrat, or not completely bought. Excuse me.
Well, he's not bought, but the thing is like he has a dog in the fight, right? Because his dad was murdered by the CIA and the mafia, and he wants to take them down. And the thing is, like, who is controlling the drug trade and everything else? CIA and the mafia.
Democrats.
The Democrats.
The Clintons.
The Democrats.
The Clintons, man. I watched that documentary. Ooh,
Yeah.
They are connected to some coke running like you wouldn't believe.
Well, that's the problem.
Holy
like,
shit.
Most of these politicians, they are bought and sold, and it's not even like, so Eisenhower, which was one of the most brilliant like presidents, he said, beware of the industrial complex, meaning those that are unchecked, unregulated. He didn't say this. This is my interpretation of what he's saying, is those companies, which goes back to the accountability that we talked about earlier with the church and stuff like that. This also translates to the industrial complex, military industrial complex, where their job and their employment status and everything else depends on whether we're at war. So when you benefit from war, guess what? You're going to always be at war.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is like what all these politicians need to do is go step out in other countries and look at the perspective of how other, not politicians, because that's what they do. They go hang out with other politicians that have like minds. They need to go hang out with the regular people and see what their views are. Because I had the fortunate ability at 12 years old to go to Greece and understand the politicians and the views that they had of us then. They were giving us accolades back then, bro. Like, and then when I was 18, and then when I was 20,
it's changed.
It changed dramatically to where people were like literally telling me like, why haven't you?
Everybody. And
I'm like going, well, because that's not how we're run.
Everybody had their problems with the presidents from the 80s to the 90s, but let's be honest, the economic and social growth within America during those two decades were probably the best that we are going to ever see outside of maybe the early 2000s, because there's you can say a lot of shit about Reagan, you can say a lot of shit about the first Bush, but then Clinton comes in, and so we're run by Clinton, and then all of a sudden followed by Bush, and then the 2000s ends up going downhill from Bush.
Yeah, well, I mean, it started with Bush because he was basically trying to resolve all the unfinished shit that his dad left, and that let's be honest, like that's what it was. That's why Iraq. That's why
Bushes were war hungry.
They were, because why? Because they have, where are they from?
Texas.
And where's Raytheon from?
Well, same place that oil is, Texas.
Thank you. So what is their vested interest?
Yeah,
exactly. Like that's like at the end of the day, it goes back to what I was saying about like follow the money. If you follow the money, the only way you can elicit change is not by voting, is by shorting those companies.
Yep.
Not one person at a time, but like a collaborative group. And that's why, like, I love the story, and I will repeat this again. I know I've said it a couple times on the podcast.
Ballsack. Oh, sorry.
Roaring Kitty.
Oh,
yeah, it has nothing to do with balls.
I mean,
although he did invest in Chewy, and that stock went. So there you go.
All right. Enough innuendos. Enough to triple entendre.
Exactly. But no, that's one of the reasons why, like, I feel like it's David taking on Goliath, and like I'm part of that because, like, today, perfect example is I shorted the fuck out of Adobe, and I don't know, like, this is not on. I didn't pull the story because, like, I have it right here, like I don't need to pull it. But those of you who don't know, Adobe has been caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
And we're not talking about the clay you make houses out of, just so you know, okay?
So, like, Andy and I were talking about, like, one of the other previous podcasts, how Adobe acquired, what was it, the Audacity, or what was that?
I didn't get off work till 5.
So, sorry.
Babe, we're almost done here anyway. Just wait a little bit. And they also brought snacks.
Hey, there's tons of food. Help yourself. Like, check the refrigerator downstairs in the garage. There's, I got a ton of food still left over. Food. Yeah. Oh shit! No, I lost some fucking.
Short stock.
Oh yeah. So Adobe. So what they did is they basically said that any work that you create on their platform using their products is now property of theirs. So now, mind you, like the stuff that I work on is proprietary. It's proprietary to a company or multiple companies.
Yep.
And anything that I create, I don't want my competitors to be able to use that.
Use it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? To use it against me. Like,
so what they're saying is you create something, we own it, and then we'll sell it to whoever we want.
Yes, and we'll use it. Basically, what they're trying to do is use it to train our AI models.
Ooh.
So that they can,
control the industries.
Yeah, so they can compete with OpenAI and all the other Midjourney and stuff like that we've been using. And so, like, a lot of people have been pulling the plug. Oh, and here's the best part. So if you go to cancel your membership, they still charge you. So there hasn't been an investigation or anything on this. And so like when Boeing started fucking up, I bet like 10 grand against the company to like basically try to dive bomb that fucking company. And it didn't work. But now if you watch their stock from when I did that to now, like it's tanking.
Mm-hmm.
So Adobe is actually tanking even faster.
Wow.
And so that was one of the posts that I was going to put up, like about like, you know, everybody's fighting over the left and right. Everybody's fighting over Democrat, Republican. I go, at the end of the day, none of that shit matters. It matters the companies that are basically are the cause of inflation, which, just so y'all know, the listening audience, there's 3 companies that run basically everything in the United States. 3. So when one umbrella company changes the prices for every company that's underneath them, we're hit. And when you have 3 big powerhouses that are in control of the entire industry and the entire market and every single thing you buy, whether it be shampoo, whether it be food, whether it be, they control all of that. And they also control, because if you think about Pepsi owns Taco Bell, KFC. If you look at who owns Pepsi, and you look at all of the bigger...
A&W too, I think.
Yeah.
And Long John Silver's. thing.
Exactly my point. So when those three big companies own all of the other companies below it, then that means when they make a change, they make it system wide, which means they control all the prices. And like everybody's arguing about, oh, it's Biden's America, this and no. This is the America we live in because nobody stood up. Nobody stood up financially, put money where their fucking mouth is instead of complaining about it, put money short those fucking companies. And guess what? They will no longer get those big bonuses and shit. That's why they fucking do it. Think about it. As an investor, everybody needs to fucking educate themselves. Like, understand the stock market, understand investments, understand what they do, and the fact that the CEOs and the executives, the CFOs and everything else, and the CTOs, which is Chief Technology Officer, all of them have to listen to the shareholders. So if you don't put money into that company starts to fail. And that's one of the main reasons why, like, I've been following that Roaring Kitty, because he's literally going after all these companies that tried to short GameStop, and he's cost them billions with a B.
Yep.
And the thing is he's now realizing, like, GameStop is just the start. Like, there's multitude. Chewy was the other one that I mentioned. Yep. But that's the thing, is these companies have literally just dictated who is successful and who's not. And that's the fucked up part. And that's why, like, I realized, like, when the whole Boeing thing and I lost that 10 grand and everything else, I was like going, this shit is rigged. This shit, if you or I went and killed fucking 200 fucking people, we'd be in jail. We'd be like, we'd probably be on the death penalty because we're in Texas, right?
I'd be fine.
I'd be fine.
No.
But the thing is like, these companies get away with that shit. And I'm like, I can't fucking, and I will never sit quiet. I will never, like, this is why I'm still talking about it on the podcast, but I'm actually putting my money where my mouth is, because I'm like, I'm going to elicit change if nobody else fucking does. And if nobody wants to follow me, fuck them. That's your problem.
Like, everybody should follow.
Then don't bitch.
Bankrupt the companies.
Exactly. Like, don't bitch and complain if you do nothing about it. Like, that's my biggest thing. Like, that's my biggest beef with, like, majority of people on social media.
Don't let the company stick it up your ass. Speaking of
you be the one sticking it up there. Okay, sorry.
Speaking of that,
yeah, go ahead. What you got?
It's getting late. I got kids, so I got to at least put my last story down that I really want to get into, because I think it's absolutely effing hilarious.
All right, go ahead.
And it's another thing why you should never let anybody put anything in your ass.
What?
Yeah, like big companies, don't let them put it in your ass. Anyways, the reason there's a transition on this is listen to this headline. Mexican restaurant hijinks. Have a margarita on me. It's cracking. That is the headline. This gives new meanings to bottoms up, ladies and gentlemen. A man in Waycross, Georgia, decided to buy a woman a drink at, it's either Rodeo Mexican restaurant or Rodeo. I'm assuming Rodeo. But his orifice of choice was not her mouth. So, and this is on cell phone video and pictures. They've posted it in the TMZ if you want to go look this up. The dude somehow got his hands on a funnel. Don't know where he got it. And he tried his hardest to pour the drink down her butt, which I would assume means
down her butt or in the funnel to her butthole.
I think it was to her orifice.
Yeah.
The funnel gets 86'd and he pours a pitcher of margarita right between her crack. Someone on the restaurant staff saw what he was doing, and that was the end of the hijinks. The restaurant saw no humor in the prank, saying, "We recently became aware of an inappropriate incident that took place in our restaurant," and they released a statement saying, yes, they do not condone this and will not be allowing this to happen, as it shouldn't have happened in the first place. We want to make it clear that such behavior is completely unacceptable, does not reflect our values and missions for a family-friendly environment. We are taking the matter very seriously, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go to TMZ, this happened in Waycross, Georgia, in a family restaurant. This man, and they do have blurred out pictures, he poured a pitcher, that's a glass of margarita down this chick's crack and began to attempt to drink it out of her crack in a restaurant.
So that's like Wolf of Wall Street, where he snorted a line of Coke, but like now instead of snorting a line of Coke, it's
But didn't he do that at his house?
He did not.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't do it. There's just some things you don't do. This is definitely one of. I have to assume alcohol was involved. I mean, I know they had margaritas.
Yeah, how many margaritas did they have?
There was
beforehand?
a few margaritas.
Yeah.
Into it, but But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's my last story of the evening. I've got to start winding down because we got to take the kids somewhere tomorrow and have a good family day getting Wet and Wild. At least that's what it used to be called.
Oh, man, I miss Wet and Wild.
Mhm.
That fucking place was awesome.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much the same. It's Hurricane Harbor.
It's the same, but it's not.
So would you like to continue? Or
I'll go ahead and continue. I appreciate you stepping in. I know we were kind of delayed with everything, with having to pull stories and everything else.
I got to help feed children. I got to get them ready for the tomorrow because we got to get there early. Says lines suck. Balls. There it is again, ladies and gentlemen. Balls.
There you go, balls.
If I don't see you before next Tuesday, see you next Tuesday. Oh no, I didn't mean that. I'd say catch you like COVID, but COVID's just not a thing anymore. It is, but it's not.
Actually, it's starting to make a comeback
care.
again.
Had it 3 times. Come and get me.
Yeah.
Anyways, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to my shenanigans and supporting the show. I will talk at you later. And here is none other than the Devin E. Ewert. Or Devin G. Ewert. Sorry, I fucked up his middle initial. 20 years, I'm still fucking it up.
It's all good, man.
All right, let me close on down here. Does it shut the door like when I exit the studio? Because some ding dongs when I can.
I don't know, I don't know if the audience can hear that or if that's just like if only I can
true.
hear it.
All right, man.
All right, homie. Will you have fun tomorrow?
Oh no, I just want to leave. I don't want to end it. That's right. All right. Yeah, leave and keep it going. All right, sir. What was that?
I said have fun tomorrow. And I will holler at you later.
I'll send a postcard. All right, y'all. Everyone have a good night. Thank you.
And let me know when you decide to go.
I will.
Or where you decide to go, because
oh yes, I will.
Yeah. Because I know you said some other things.
All right, brother.
All right, homie. Show, man. All right, brother. Appreciate you. What's up, everybody? I'm back. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the business stuff. We'll go ahead and skip a bunch of the other stuff because I know, like, a lot of you, some of you guys have been seeing like some of the investment stuff that I've been doing. And I want to kind of give you guys the 411 because last time I talked to you guys, I told you that I was in competition with a financial company out of New York. Well, apparently that got wind some other financial institutions, and because I'm engrossed in AI for the last 6 years, and I'm actually using some AI technology now for stock type stuff. Several other companies have approached me, and now we're working on some collaborative stuff, and we'll see what happens. It's very interesting times because it's a new field for me. I'm self-taught. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial analyst, but I have been going against the financial advisors and financial analysts, so it's been a very interesting. They're keeping track of my my wins, my gains. They're keeping track of all the different stocks and all that sort of stuff. So it's been very, very interesting because I have a lot of people that are watching what I'm doing, which, you know, I'm not one to fall like susceptible to pressure and stuff like that. I do what I know. So the advantage, and this is one of the meetings that I had with a couple of the CEOs and all that sort of stuff, was I come from a business background. So I understand the principles and understand business very, very, very well, more than most people, because I started my first corporation when I was 21. Some of y'all know that, some of y'all don't. So I understand the fundamentals and stuff of business, and I know what is wrong and what is right. So that, going back to the conversation that I had about Adobe, that was one of the reasons why I put my money where my mouth is as far as shorting options trading and shorting their stock, was because I felt this company can't get away with what they've been doing. They need anybody to go after them, and that's what I did. So long story short, they've offered some advice and stuff for different companies that I should look at and gauge whether I want to invest, this, that, and the other. And of course, Devin being me, in my fashion, I look at what they have to offer, and sometimes I take them up, but most of the times I'm like, no, my methodology and my brain power and everything is different than yours. Yeah, you're using these different devices, this, that, and the other, but I'm using what I know about business. And you can look at financial history and stuff like that, but I also look at that. But I also look at the business and look at the scalability and look at where they are now, where they've been, and where they're going. And are they making moves that are going to move the needle in the correct direction? Because in like Adobe's case, if they move the needle in a direction that I don't see longevity in, and especially when I look at the price of their stock, I think it's like $500 something. It's well overpriced for what you get and for what they're doing. And so that's why I've shorted it. And that's why I've continually made gains day after day after day, is because I'm shorting a stock in a company that has made very bad decisions. And I'm one that, like, when you make bad decisions, just like in life, when you fuck up, you got to be held accountable. And I've learned that I can hold these companies accountable by putting my money where my mouth is. And like, instead of bitching and complaining, which you don't, if you ever follow my Facebooks or anything, any of my social medias, I'm not one of complaining about anything. Like, I'm one to offer solutions. And so those of you who are interested, I have created an entire pyramid of all the companies that I'm going to be investing in, from the top all the way to the bottom, from the primary to the secondary to tertiary to all of the other companies that are integrated, because I am almost 100% certain the AI is bigger than the internet boom that we had in the 2000s. Like, the thing with the internet boom in the 2000s, it wasn't sustainable. It was only going to help one industry. And what I know about AI, because I've been in it for 6 years, it's not going to help one industry. It's going to help every industry. We're talking healthcare. We're talking material handling. We're talking manufacturing. We're talking production. We're talking sales. We're talking every single business and every single company is going to be, and already is, affected by AI. So going back to what we were talking about earlier, follow the money. So that's exactly what I've done, and I've built this whole entire model out based on where my funds and my money and stuff is going to be. So the way I've broken it down, AI is like for the next 2 to 5 years. After that is going to be healthcare. The healthcare sector is going to be revolutionized by the AI. Then the next part of the healthcare is actually going to be what's called gene editing. So they're going to be able to use AI to go in and basically turn genes on and off. So like, think about cancer. So those of you who don't know, I don't want to get too technical, but like the DNA structure is a double helical design. So it goes like this, right? You have your RNA and you have your DNA. And what those do is, it's basically like, think about binary. So there's an on and off. So with your DNA structure, there's certain genes in the genome that you can either turn on and off. So once you isolate and find like cancer and everything else, you can literally go in and isolate that gene and turn it off or turn it on. So that's going to be the next revolution in 3 to 5 years. Then after that, it's going to be mind-blowing. But like, I have literally the next 10 to 15 years lined up. And I don't even want to talk about the next stuff because I'm already talking way too much than I should. So let me go back to the stories. NVIDIA has more than doubled this year. How to know when to sell. NVIDIA stock has more than doubled this year, leading the investors to wonder when it might be the right time to sell. What are your thoughts on the timing of selling high performing stocks, and how do you balance the risk and reward deciding on to hold or sell investments, or do you even invest at all? Like, because I know there's a couple people here that listen that do invest, and there's a couple people that like want me to help them invest. So I'm just curious, like, are you investing in Nvidia? Like, are you pulling out? Are you doubling down? Like, where's your strategy and what are your thought process? Because I really would like to know. So the next article is bets against Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla stocks are blowing up. So short sellers have been betting against stocks like Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla, and they're experiencing significant losses as these tech giants continue to perform well. So, like, basically, a lot of these companies, what they're doing is they're short selling. So, remember what I was talking about Adobe. So, like, I short sell like companies that I feel like are going to fail, or they're no longer going to be on the uptrend. They're going to start to go on the decline. But the thing is people keep comparing this AI to the bubble that burst with the internet. And the problem with the internet is anybody and everybody could be the next internet provider. Whereas with AI, unless you create the chips that are used in the creation of AI, then you're not going to be able to compete. Unless you manufacture and make the hardware that the AI operates. And then you got to think about, like, okay, so how does the AI connect to other mainframes and everything else? Oh, so it uses fiber optics. Okay, so who makes the fiber optics? Corning. So you got to look at not only like the companies that are making the AI, but you got to look at the companies that are using it, which would be your Apple and your Tesla. But then you got to look at all these secondary and tertiary ones, which is what I was talking about earlier. And those companies are, they're going to rise as well. So, like, Nvidia is great because it's like at $130 or $145 right now. So anybody could invest in it. Whereas some of these other stocks are in the thousands. So it's really hard, unless you have that kind of money laying around, to play in the game. Whereas Nvidia, like I said, is like $130, $145 or whatever. So you can actually be a part of the success. And anybody that would have invested before they became as big as they became, yeah, you'd be all millionaires right now. So, like, it's not too late. We're at the infant stage. So, like, there's tons of growth left. And we're at an opportunity where, like, we're literally just crawling. You got to think about, they got to walk first, and then they got to run. And then, like, so, like, we're at that stage. Like, now is a perfect time to get in. Like, this is what I'm trying to instill on all the people. Like, hey, like, because I want everybody to be successful. I want everybody to have money. I want everybody to not have to worry about the next paycheck and not have to live paycheck to paycheck, because, I've been there, done that. And, like, to me, I get better gratification on seeing and helping others and elevating, rather than like a lot of people on social media and stuff who get pleasure and joy out of, like, berating people and being internet trolls and being assholes and this, that, and the other. Like, let's face it. And, like, at the end of the day, like, what does that solve? Like, so you're criticizing somebody to make yourself feel better. Like, at the end of the day, how does that help you? Like, how does that move you further in life? Whereas, like, you give somebody the means and the wherewithal on how to fish, and then they start catching their own fish. Like, seeing that is like, now you've given them the tools and you've given them the knowledge, and now they're growing and expanding and they're learning on their own. To me, like, that is the most gratifying thing ever. So that's why, like, I don't post negative shit. I don't talk shit about people. If people want to act a fool, let them act a fool. Like, that's all on them. People want to talk shit, then you know what? That doesn't make me look bad. It makes you look bad, because you're the one, vomiting diarrhea out your mouth. So that being said, The next story, Intel's momentum has flipped as stock books 5-session winning streak. Intel has gained momentum with its stock achieving a 5-session winning streak. The positive trend reflects investor confidence and could signal a turnaround for the company, which has faced various challenges in recent times. So those of you who don't know, like Apple and MacBook back in the day used to actually all be powered by Intel processors. Well, Apple branched off and like they created their own silicone chips. So they became their own manufacturer of chips and stuff. So that kind of like left Intel like kind of into the dust. Intel is kind of an old company. I know when I first built my computer, I used Intel chipset, I used Intel motherboard and all that sort of stuff. But like they've kind of been sidelined. And the thing is they haven't really been and evolved around AI very much. But because they're starting to network and starting to make deals with these other companies to get into the AI race, I actually had several options on Intel. One of which closed this morning at like 8:30 with a profit of I think 350 or 400%. So yeah, I made a sizable profit. But whenever I buy into options, and I'm very, very sure, which Intel was one of them, I always buy two. So I buy one, and I set a marked price of, and I look at the historical data, and I measure it up, and I'm like, okay, so I'm going to set one at this level, and then I'm going to set the next one at the all-time highest peak that stock ever hit. Because at the end of the day, if I sell that one at a profit, I'm still ahead. And then if I can sell that second one at the highest tier, then I'm exponentially at it. And then I'm well ahead. So like my methodology of trading and stuff is way different than a lot of people. And it's very unorthodox, and I don't recommend it unless you can understand patterns and you can understand how the market works. And then you also have to have faith in the company's ability. You got to look at their historical data of what they've done and where they've been and what their next steps are. Like there's a lot of data that goes into it. So that's one of the reasons why like I invested in Intel. And in fact, I think I still have one option still open that ends on Friday. So we'll see what happens. I'm already up, like I said, 350%. So at this point, even if I lose, I'm still up. And that's the way to play the stock market, is like, even if you lose, you're still creating a profit. So one of these articles, speaking of profits and everything, is one of these articles says, buy this healthcare company stock because it's an AI play, analysts say. Analysts recommend buying stock in healthcare company because of its strong position in AI technology. This company's integration with AI has seen as a key driver in the future growth and innovation, making it an attractive investment opportunity in the healthcare sector. And of course, they don't fucking tell me what that damn. Now I gotta pull this shit up. It is called Tempus AI. The stock ticker is TEM. Debuted on the NASDAQ on June 14th. That was the IPO offering at 11.1 million shares, priced at $37 a share. And at that IPO price, the company valued was $6.1 billion with a B. The company said its intelligent diagnostic platform uses AI, including generative AI, to analyze and personalize laboratory test results by connecting them with the patient's own clinical data. That's one of my things, and that's one of the things that why I'm heavily investing 3 to 5 years down the road into the healthcare sectors, because once you have these smart devices like your iPhone, you have your Apple Watch or any type of smartwatch. Once all that stuff becomes what I call data centric, where it all goes to one singular place, that AI can go and analyze all the data. It can know exactly what you're doing, exactly like how much exercise, how many calories you're burning, and then it can offer suggestions and solutions to take you to that next level. And that's why that's my 3 to 5 year. That's not my immediate. But I'm going to go ahead and keep an eye on this stock just because I'm curious to see whether it grows or not. At $35 a share, it might be worth buying in. It might be worth doing options trading and buying it low, lock in the price, and then go ahead and take out the 100 shares or whatever. But you never know until I do the research. So that's why I'm putting this out here. So if y'all want to do the research and let me know, that's cool too. Now we're going to dive into the real estate market. Despite appearances, the current housing market does not have an oversupply of homes for sale. Factors such as low inventory levels and high demand have created a perception of excess. But the reality is a tight market where available homes are quickly purchased. What are y'all's thoughts? Have anybody tried to buy a home, or anybody like what kind of headaches, what kind of struggles have you dealt with? I know the interest rates are super high still, but like who's buying houses? Like, because somebody's buying them. But anyway. So I don't know if any of y'all been paying attention, but like Nike, if you bought Nike shares 5 years ago, the value of their stock today is the same value it was almost 6 years ago. So now Adidas has decided, you know what? We're going to try to benefit from this. They're trying to overcome the challenges that Nike has changed in its supply chain and inventory management. These struggles have led to Nike's decline in market performance, opening an opportunity for Adidas to capture a larger share of the market. The dynamics between the two sportswear giants highlight the impact of operational efficiency and strategic positioning in the competitive apparel industry. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have been following what's going on with Nike, but like it's been crazy. Like that's one company in one stock that I never thought. So those of you who don't know, like the largest shoe seller of all time has been Nike. And the second largest retailer of shoes is actually the reseller of Nike. So it's not Skechers, it's not Adidas, it's actually people that sell Nikes on the open market, you know, whether they be used or whether they be brand new in box. But the resale of Nikes is the second largest shoe. So it's been a really crazy industry. I think there's a couple Netflix movies and stuff about it, the sneaker pimps and stuff like that. But yeah, like it's pretty fascinating to like it's examples like Nike that kind of open your eyes of like why I did things that I did with Adobe, because I'm like, look at Nike. Like Nike thought they could never fail. Like their shit was like untouchable. Like it couldn't stink, right? But like clearly that's not the case. So anyway, yeah, like that's a company to watch out for is Adidas, because like what the hell is going on with Adidas? Well, anyways, it's getting late, and I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. It is 9:30. I hope everybody has a wonderful night. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I will catch you next Tuesday. Later.